this is now a 19th century mindset of exploitation and domination in a 21st century multipolar setup in which the balance of power is just utterly different. So it's gonna run, and it is running in front of our eyes against brick walls time and again. The question is, will it all blow up even bigger? And the biggest threat to that is, of course, Israel, which is
the greatest colonial power in the world right now.
has so much impunity. It can literally do whatever it wants. It can literally implement a genocide for 2 years, and the Europeans and Americans, the political processes still back it up. And it can blow up an ally of the United States. It can attack Qatar. Isn't that kind of a watershed? I mean, we just haven't seen it. I mean, it's the next step, and it makes sense for Israel. It's just another one. Incredible.
It may be a watershed, though, a minor one, but a minor one that will make a difference, because what you have now is you have Riyadh coming closer and closer to Iran. Qatar already was. The Turks had already helped Qatar when Riyadh was being obstreperous towards them a few years ago. Turks actually sent troops. Now you've got all of them seeking a rapprochement with Tehran and a better coordinated defense structure and security structure amongst them, and talking to Erdogan, with Qatar telling Erdogan that another 200 or 300 billion will be coming your way. And you need to be very, very willing to do the kinds of things we need you to do, one of which might be to take Israel on. So it's shaping up. People say, well, the Arabs are feckless. They could never do anything. They could never have any kind of alliance that would be any formidable thing with regard to Israel anyway, blah, 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 blah. They're not looking at Israel. Israel is tied down massively on 6 fronts. Israel has disaster shaping up in its own ranks. I'm just looking at the reports this morning from the IDF. The IDF puts out some really good reports on things like post-traumatic stress, suicide, reservists who aren't showing up, and so forth. Bibi so far has not been able to stem that. It actually gets out. Sometimes you can even find it in Haaretz. It's a disaster right now. The number of troops that aren't showing up, the number of troops that are committing suicide, the number of troops that have post-traumatic stress, the number of troops that are essentially saying, officers, not just enlisted, officers say, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm out of here. Now, Netanyahu's trying to cap it as best he can, but he's not doing it very well.
So you think they will try to go to war with Iran?
I do, because that's the only solution Netanyahu has. He can't back up. That's the reason he bombed Doha, because he did not want a ceasefire. He cannot have a ceasefire. He cannot back up. He can only go forward. He can only extend, enlarge, and deepen his abyss. That's what he's got to do. And he's got to, in the case of Iran, bring the United States in, because he knows damn well he can't defeat Iran. And he's going to be way out on a limb, and someone's going to chop it off. But we will come.
And the U.S. will go, right? I mean, 250 state lawmakers recently in Israel, and Rubio in Israel, and everybody doing this very humiliating thing of putting on the kippah and going to the wall. And I mean, they're not Jews, right? They're not Jews, but they do these. But then the Zionists are not.
They're not Christians either.
Yeah,
I've been a Christian all my life. They're not Christians.
Yeah,
There's some weird combination of whatever, but they're not Christians. They don't do what Christians are supposed to do.
The USA will go, right? If Israel pushes the button and they start something that they can't win, the USA, in the end, they will say they will go, right?
We'll go, and we'll find out that we can't handle it. This is not Iraq. This is not desert. This is really tough mountain country. Alexander the Great almost died in Iran. It is tough country. I've war planned for it. I war planned to fight the Soviets in the Zagros Mountains, for example, because when the Soviets moved into Afghanistan initially, we thought, nah, there's no way they're going to stay in Afghanistan. What do they want with Afghanistan? They're going to go for the warm water ports, something that Russia's wanted and salivated over for hundreds of years. They're going to go for Bandar Abbas and Chabahar. So we were war planning at that time, seriously war planning for fighting in Iran. And I tell you what, we came to the conclusion that we didn't want to do that. We looked at that terrain closely, cross compartment and otherwise. We looked at it and we said, we'll get beaten in that terrain. We'll get beaten by guerrilla warfare that will wind up attriting us day after day after day. Same thing that happened in Iraq, but only much more intense in Iran because you've got much more strategic depth. You've got 90 million people and you've got real homogeneity amongst at least 51 to 52% of them, Persian. The others are pretty much melded in too if the country is threatened like it is right now. I mean, I've never seen in my lifetime an Iran so unified as it is right now.
Right.
And what did that was the Israeli attacks and the murderous way they did it,
Right.
in the middle of diplomacy.
Even a close Iranian friend over here who told me he doesn't like the regime a little bit and he would love them to be gone, told me, look, they were right. The Americans are out for us to get us. we got to stand together. And he's not Persian. He's not even Persian.
Yeah.
I'm still praying for some form of de-escalation and good sense in the administration in Washington. This was not very encouraging in that sense, but we need to face reality.